Take the over, baby. Take the over. We are live from the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. Thanks, everybody, for joining today. Man, oh man. Chaos with the tech team this morning. Wow, it's amazing that we that we made it happen, but here we are. It's incredible. I hope everybody's well. Big games this time of year, of course. Hopefully playoff games in your future, in your past, recent past. I just had a section playoff game, boys game last night. And this is how it went. Competitive, relatively competitive in the first half. And then one team proved they were the superior team. Have we ever had that before in our games? Jason Hayes, reacting to the title, makes a statement. Is this a true statement? Not legal by rule, but 2 years ago in JV we allowed. Yeah. Game situation. Greetings, Kurt Johnson. How are you? Seventh grade game, Purple 24. Which one? Right? When we have in the CYO games in this area, there's no uniform restriction, so we can get duplicate numbers. I always go to shoes first or hair, but shoes first, because that way you can just make it simple. White shoes, pink shoes, white shoes, red shoes, black shoes, etc. 24, black shoes. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. The charges were accruing. That sounds chilly to me, Tony. It sounds chilly to me. We are chilly here in the San Francisco Bay Area. There's frost on the roofs across the way. I can see that. But my concept of chilly, I'm sure, is very, very different from many. Chris, good to see you in the house. We've got a couple of Chris Janish plays for 5 Play Friday on Friday. You see how we do that? We do 5 Play Friday on Friday, right? Just to keep things organized. It's helpful for me. Believe you me. Patrick Weaver in the house. Good to see you. 54 degrees and 21 miles an hour. That's gonna seem brisk. I was in a similar situation yesterday where I was improperly attired out in low 50-degree weather, but the wind, it ate me up. Whew. We are here. We are live. It is happening. Kind of an upset. But as long as we have coffee, we are making it happen here bright and early in the San Francisco Bay Area. Mike Connors restrains from taunting by not having information available. Good morning, Darwin Sonata. Excellent. Joe has chosen wisely. Yes, indeed. What are you going to hear on the radio? Ay, ay, ay. Ice everywhere. You know, you see those videos of ice affected areas and people they have to get from A to B. Valiant efforts sometimes thwarted by physics. Good morning, Ashton Dillon. All right. Sounds like they did it correct, Jared. Says a high school playoff game he was watching last night had a girl get fouled and was angry and received a technical, and that was her 5th foul, so they needed a sub to attempt her merited free throws. Excellent. Hey, somebody's got to ref it, Tony. Somebody's got to ref it. Fortunately, my game was probably turned into like a 25-point game. Pregame with captains, I'm saying, look, you've heard this is a ceremonial meeting. You've heard this all before, but do me a favor. My plea to you is show poise and leadership. Did our home team that ended up losing by 25? It wasn't the captains. Did they show poise? No. No, they did not. Hey. Billy Mack is bringing the egg energy from his little corner of Connecticut. Good to see you, Billy. You have yet to make me laugh. Come on. There but for the grace of God go I. I got to the court last night, and I just like for a brief moment, I do not have my whistle. For a brief moment, but there it was. There it was. Wouldn't be too far to go. Let's see that. But hey. Tom Dart in the house from Toledo. So tell me about Ohio, like girl. Why do states stagger and do girls tournament first and then do boys tournament? When the girls tournament is going on, are there still boys regular season games? What's the logic behind that? I don't. Yeah. Beverly asks, do I have to sell my block charge calls or can I simply call them? You do not have to sell them. No, you do not. Sometimes, we need to sell a block charge because it's, relatively 50-50, could go either way. There's a moment where we want to come out strong, etc. But many charge calls call themselves, right? They are obvious. Grandma can't see that well, can't hear that well up in the 14th row. She said, well, that's a charge. Those are the ones we like. Good to see you in the live stream, Beverly. I appreciate you. Mark asks, do you still warn players on 3 seconds and to what level? That's going to be really probably handled as an individual basis. Of course, we need to be super aware if my partner has called a 3-second violation or I can perceive them to be alerting players, hey, get out of there. I need to be consistent at the other end, right? I'm not much of a, hey, get out of there kind of official, but I'm also not making 3-second calls my highest priority in the game. Again, we want a 3-second call to call itself a little bit. If we need to see an advantage gained, at least some of us do. Ted's going to go on a syllable timeout, apparently. Yes, it is the walk of shame. Hopefully your partner has your back and can do something entertaining on the court while you're gone and distract from the fact that you have forgotten your whistle. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense for venue purposes. It would make sense if you say, oh, we only have so many playoff qualified officials, so we have to stagger the tournament so that we have enough officials to handle the games properly. Of course, here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area and in Northern California, the California section playoffs, first, the early rounds are 2-person games. Yes, I'm sure many find that to be an incredible thing, but they are 2-person. And then the later rounds, the semifinals and the finals are 3-person, and then all the state playoff games are 3-person. Randy, I got your video clip. It was tremendous. We'll have that on the show on Friday. Huh. Mike, how do you have that knowledge about Illinois state tournaments? Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, all of our actions, even though we think they may be helpful, may, put us in a position of scrutiny. And again, if Mark, if you and I were working the game and I perceive you telling the other team to get out, right, giving a warning about 3 seconds, and then I perceive a coach giving scrutiny, giving feedback about how this would be an offense in some fashion, then when we get down to the other end, even if they're not in there, I will be down there. Hey, get out of there! Get out. We got to have each other's backs. Joel, that is tremendous. Yes, wait for the the crowd to start shouting. Okay. All right. Connecticut, a stagger related to football season. No, that's the walk of pride for some, Mike. I'm sorry. Phil Haddad is in the house. Pennsylvania, home of yeah, the Eagles. Well, I'm really not at the high school level. I'm not encouraging players to get out. Right? If it's an obvious violation, I'm going to call the violation. Again, it's not my highest priority. But again, we need to have consistency as a crew. If my partner down on one end is saying, "Hey, get out," be really super lenient, and I'm down at the other end and I have, oh, that's 3 seconds. Then we have inconsistency. Mike grew up. Oh, excellent. Craig from Massachusetts, good to see you. Appreciate everybody being here today. Michael Hogue, his usual arrival. Michael, how are you? Beverly's got something else. If after a scored goal, the thrower tosses the ref the ball and the ref has already started the 5 count, do you continue your original count? Well, it depends on how quickly you can duck. Usually, the Ray Allen, who may make an appearance on the stream, it's always funny. He is a very elusive official when players bat him the ball afterwards. Very elusive. So there's a couple ways we can handle it. Usually, if an offensive player tosses the ball to me, I will bat the ball back to them, right? If I have begun a count, then I will continue that count, right? The reason I've begun the count is they have the ball at their disposal. And sometimes players are confused, especially at lower levels. You see this in youth games, right? They think the ball has gone through the basket. They pick it up. They're not, are you supposed to ref? I don't know, right? And then in that situation, we're going to be super lenient. A high school game, obviously these players need to know. I'm not about interrupting the game. I'm not about, I'm not going to help you out or what have you. If the defense throws me the ball and they are at all applying any defensive pressure, this is a delay of game warning by rule. We're going to go to that each and every time because they are gaining an advantage. One of our clips on Friday, which I've already prepared. Wow. I'm ahead of the game. What's wrong with me? Features a situation where a player bats the ball and the team is applying pressure. It's subtle. Does it rise to the level, etc.? But I would say if you have the capability to maintain that count and you want that count to be something that you could maintain through thick and thin, as we've seen in play situations, especially late in the game when something unusual happens, right? We want have the ability to just have that count maintain, right? Because we're going to see, especially in a throw-in situation, we're going to see unusual things. They will occur. Why is your teammate out of bounds? What you're passing the ball to your teammate, etc. There's 3 of you out of bounds. Suddenly, all of a sudden, the defense is coming back on the court and reaching for the ball, etc. All the things that may occur, we want to basically have the ability to have a metronome going. If you have the ability to do that and bat the ball back to them, that's fine. If for whatever reason the ball misses and it's rolling towards the corner of the gym, that's what I'd say about that. There you go. There you go. Adam, go green. It's obviously, yeah, another tragedy in America at Michigan State. Not related to going green. Absolutely, Darwin. I agree with you 100%. If the players show up and they know what's going on, they absolutely, how do we earn respect in the game? How do we earn respect as officials? How do we gain respect, rather, by earning that respect, right? And if we have teams who earn our respect they know exactly what's going on in the game, have to respect that 100%. Right, Mike. But I guess Beverly's question would be, I judge that the player has the ball at their disposal. They are stepping out of bounds. I begin my count, and then they throw the ball to me. I do have a throw-in play where I administer the throw-in. I may show it on 5-Play Friday. I will show it on 5-Play Friday. I administer the throw-in in the backcourt. There's no defensive pressure. I bounce the ball to the thrower. I begin my count. I glance up at the clock, and she throws the ball to me and bounces off my chest and goes to her teammate. It's like, what? I just bounced you the ball. Why are you throwing it to me? Greg's a talker. Voice over whistles. That is a great approach. All right. Awesome. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me try this. Will this work today? Let's find out. Don't see it. Oh my, are you kidding me? You have a child who went to a school with a school shooting? Ay, ay, ay. Good morning, Darren. I can't imagine. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let me make sure I know where I am. I think I'm there. It's exciting times. It's always an exciting time when the show starts. Are we going to be able to pull it off yet again? Oh, I got my little flare of light bouncing off of the planter. Love it. Adam, I don't know how you do that. What do you do day after? What do you do a week later? Okay. All right. Rules expert. Let's see. We're back. Another episode. Rules expert. Play scenarios. We need to get these plays right, and let's do it. Stick around. Greetings. Welcome back to the Basketball Rules Expert, the show where we take a look at play scenarios so we can get better as basketball officials. Greetings, everyone. It's Greg Austin with A Better Official. We craft video to help basketball officials get better. One of the ways we do it is we look at play scenarios so that we can adjudicate plays properly when they occur on the court in our games. All right, with that, let's take a look at our very first play scenario. A1 catches the throw-in pass with 1 foot on the floor in Team A's front court and the other foot not touching the floor. The non-pivot foot then comes down in Team A's backcourt. The officials rule a backcourt violation on Team A. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? So throw-in scenario, adjacent to the front court, thrower releases the ball, teammate, 1 foot on the floor, catches the ball with that foot in the front court, and then their other foot lands in the backcourt. Well, we know there's a rules exception. We know there's a rules exception that during a throw-in, right? So in this instance, were the officials correct in ruling a backcourt violation on Team A? Were the officials correct? Yes. Yes, they were. The exception applies when a player jumps from their front court, catches the ball in the air, then this foot action of having a foot in the front court and a foot in the back court would be allowed by rule, but that exception only applies to a player who jumps from the front court, catches the ball in the air, and lands in the backcourt. In our play scenario here, the player did not jump in the air, first of all, and they caught the ball with 1 foot contacting the front court. When they catch the ball in that instance, that player by rule has front court status. The exception does not apply when they subsequently place their other foot into the backcourt. They have created a backcourt violation by rule. Mike misunderstands the question. Bump, 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 bump. I think I had the question right, didn't I? Did you guys see that glitch? I saw it on my end. That's, yeah. That's crazy. Zooch correctly interprets the question, right? A lot of times what I find is if we are knowledgeable about the rules, a lot of times a question begins and our brain says, ooh, I know the answer, right? And even before we get there, and there's a lack of comprehension. Not that I have ever displayed this lack of comprehension on this show. I mean, that is correct. That is correct, Greg. Interesting. And now I got to go back. Did I not? Let's see. I turn on the inset. Throw in pass with 1 foot on the floor. They catch the pass with 1 foot on the floor in the front court. Yes. Okay. I got it right. And then, and that does that. And I turn that off. Okay. So it's funny. I mean, we do that, right? Especially if we're like, want to be first with an answer or what have you. I agree with you, Billy. I agree with you. We see this potentially getting wrong. It's not unusual. I think of it. I think of that all the time, Billy. All the time. All right. Let's see. Well, our crew is off to a great start. How is our crew going to do today? Let's find out by looking at our next play scenario. With both teams in the bonus, A1 is fouled by B1. Before A1 releases the try on the first free throw, teammate A2 fouls B2. A1's throw-in is successful. The officials score the goal and then clear the lane for A1's second merited free throw, then resume play with B2's bonus free throws with lane spaces filled. Let's review. With both teams in the bonus, A1 is fouled by B1. A1 goes to the line for their merited free throws. Before they release their first free throw, their teammate commits a foul in anticipation of the rebounding action, and the try is successful. The officials score the goal, then clear the lane with A1's second merited free throw, then resume play with B2's bonus free throws with lane spaces filled. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? An excellent play scenario, and one I like to review and make sure that we get correct. And there's a little twist in here that some officials may get confused by. So, when we look at the play scenario, a player is fouled. Both teams are in the bonus. A player is fouled. They're at the line for their merited free throws. As they prepare for their release of their throw-in, but prior to the release, their teammate, anticipating the rebounding action, is ruled for a foul prior to the release. That's the key to the question. And the officials rule that we're going to score the goal, clear the lane, attempt the final merited free throw, then go to the other end and shoot bonus free throws. Okay. In this instance, were the officials correct? Yes or no in their adjudication of this play? No, they were not. Here's our key component. Prior to the release of the merited free throw, teammate of the thrower commits the foul. What kind of foul is this? This is a team control foul by rule, and no free throws will be attempted. The correct adjudication in this scenario would be to recognize that we have a foul. It is a team control foul by rule. No free throws will be attempted, but the team that was offended will receive a throw-in for the foul at the spot nearest the foul. Now, we still have a merited free. Did the ball become dead when a foul was committed by a teammate prior to the release of the first free throw? Yes, the ball becomes dead in this instance. There's no continuous motion by rule when there's a team control foul. So in our situation, our player is due a one-on-one bonus free throw, our shooter. They have yet to attempt any. So we're not going to score the goal. We're going to cancel that goal. And that player will be awarded their merited free throws with the lane cleared. And then ultimately the ball given to the opponent for a throw-in at the spot nearest the foul. Not that I have ever screwed this play up on the show, But that is the correct adjudication of this play by rule. King B, ask your question, but phrase it in the form of a question. Hey, hey, hey. Michael Hogue asks, is there a penalty for a coach to grab a player before or during a play? And if so, what is the penalty? I assume we're talking about the coach, the player is from his team, right? And sometimes coaches will reach onto the court and direct players physically. Earlier in the season, there was a video of a coach telling his player to get across the court. Male coach, female player, lost balance, looked rather abusive. To me, we see this relatively all the time where coaches are directing players, and when they have access to them, sometimes there is physical contact. Is that a violation by rule? No. No, it is not. Okay, Billy, your day is complete. Your day is complete. I assume that was the previous. Thank you, Mark. That is correct. Greg's got it correct. Adam's got it correct. The lane would be cleared for the subsequent attempt of the 1-and-1 bonus by the player who had merited bonus free throws. So, Billy, was that play in Connecticut? And the coach was suspended, but there was no penalty in the game, that the school administration felt that this was untoward and abusive or something like that? Fill us in on that. Mike Connor's back in the game with a correct adjudication. Are we talking about the throw-in violation? Michael, are we talking about directing a player physically? Yes, yes. Yeah, Beverly, this is a play that when we first did it, it was a question on a test. We did test questions live. It was a test question. I got it wrong, and then subsequently it appeared in Basketball Rules Expert, and I got it wrong again, failing to recognize that the foul occurred prior to the release, just like we were talking about with Mike Connors. We sort of and Dakota Ted, a question starts and we anticipate and we sort of gloss over and have a little comprehension loss. But I have finally got this one right. Mike, you're lost on our free throw. So we have prior to the release of the first merited free throw, foul by the teammate, team control foul, ball becomes dead. I don't understand. I thought we're on that. It's never too late to send a 5-play Friday in. I don't know what this means. Chris Collins, that doesn't mean anything to me. Sorry. So on that play, right, where the male coach pushes the female player, was that part of the dynamic? Was it considered to be abusive? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. No, the first free throw is not unsuccessful, Mike. The first free throw has yet to be attempted. The team has not violated. What would cause our, great chance to review, what causes a free throw to end? It ends when the throwing team violates. You could make a case that, well, in order for them to foul, they probably had to violate, but not necessarily. If the throwing team violates, if the ball becomes dead, or the try ends,
I think you need to start fresh on the questions. It's a bit of a jumbly mess.
I would say that the free throw had not ended in this situation. That the contact by the teammate of the thrower caused the ball to become dead. If the ball becomes dead during a free throw before the release, Well, while we ponder that, let's move on. What we have to play after we miss a call and misadjudicate a play, what are we going to do? Are we going to be hung up on it all day? Or are we going to have a next play mentality? In my game last night, player disagreed with the call, right? Turned to his bench, said, next play, next play, next play, right? Which is a great approach for players after they feel that possibly their action has been misinterpreted. But it's also we have to have that as basketball officials. This crew misadjudicated a play, but we always have a chance to get the next play right. A1 is making a throw-in along the sideline in Team A's backcourt. A1 makes the throw-in towards A2, who is standing in Team A's front court. B1 deflects the throw-in pass after it is released. A2 jumps from Team A's front court, catches the pass in the air, and lands in the back court. The officials rule this to be a legal play. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? All right, play scenario. This is a very common test scenario, one we have to become familiar with. Is it a common occurrence on the court? No. No, it is not. Right? Let's recognize the situation for what it is. We have a throw-in. The throw-in is released. A defender contacts the basketball. The ball is still in flight. A player, teammate from the front court jumps, catches the ball in the air, and lands in the backcourt. The officials in this instance rule this to be a legal play. Were the officials in this instance correct? Yes or no? No. No, they were not, right? Brings to bear some things we have to know. Remember, this is a common test question. It is not a common play that will occur in the game. It is not common at all. When does a throw-in end? Throw-in ends when it is legally touched by a player on the court. That's one of the ways that a throw-in ends. When does the exception apply? There is a throw-in exception. A throw-in exception. The throw-in exception applies during the throw-in. In the play scenario we have here, the throw-in had ended by rule. When the throw-in has ended, the exception no longer applies, and we have a situation where a player with front court status has jumped, caught the ball in the air, giving the ball front court status. The ball gains its status by where it is contacted by a player. A player gains their status from where they were last in contact or last in contact with the court. This player has front court status. When they contact the ball has front court status. And then when they land in the backcourt, the ball gains backcourt status. And this would be a backcourt violation by rule. All right, King B, I'm going to get to your question. Billy, your gender relationships becoming blurred. Some of the best cheerleaders I find are the male cheerleaders. We have several here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Enthusiasm reigns. King B, question on traveling. If I'm driving to the basket while on left foot pivot, is it legal to drop my right leg before I bounce the ball and lift my pivot foot in order to drive to the rim? King B, going to need some clarification. If we're driving to the basket, what is not legal? To establish a pivot foot and then return that pivot foot to the floor prior to the release of the try? I cannot quite discern exactly what the question would by drop your right leg before I bounce the ball. Yeah, you mean taking a negative step? There's once we have a pivot foot, what that other foot does, right? We can do the hokey pokey. We can put it in, put it out, put it back, put it forward, kick it in the air like we just don't care, as long as we maintain that pivot foot. But we have to release the dribble prior to the lifting of the pivot foot. Dave, that would be true in that instance. Adam, that is a question. If we have a coach screaming and cursing, then this is going to be a public event. This would seem a pretty, right. So let's break it down. Coach is screaming and cursing at their player. I assume like during a timeout. Let's say a teammate during a dead ball on the court was screaming and cursing at an opponent, was screaming and cursing at a teammate about a failed defensive assignment or what have you. Would we assess a technical foul in those instances? We can't ignore in that instance. If a head coach is screaming and cursing at us, would we ignore that? No, right? But now we're getting into sort of the sanctity of the team huddle. And we're, in this instance, we would often, have a lot of discretion. If it's a situation where it cannot be ignored, right? What do the school administrators want? What does your assigner want? What does the league want in this situation? If we had this at the JC level, in the level that I work, my assigner would say that is a technical foul. Not only is it technical, that is a flagrant technical, and that coach would be ejected. But there's going to be a soft border between what is allowed and what is not there. Yeah. Why was the AD doing that? Why was the AD walking to the coach? Because it's not acceptable, right? It's just like it's the extension of the classroom, and we can't allow the student athletes to have behavior that would not be acceptable in the classroom. Well, are we going to allow a teacher to curse and throw F-bombs at the students? I hope not. All right, about the play. Billy Mack has a violation. Throwing ended on the tip, no exception. Has anybody had this in their game? Have you ever had this in their game? You always have this on every test you ever take. And you always have this if you're a young official and a codgy old veteran says, well, I got a play scenario for you. How would you handle this? You either get this play or the team gets confused, goes to the basket, and gets fouled, but it's the wrong basket. What do you do? All right. Mike Goodwin is in the house. Good to see you, Mike. Second scenario. I may be a little lost. Yes. Yes. And you can use that when you explain it to the coach. Oh, that was weird. There is a hokey pokey exception. Absolutely. Yes, there is no sanctity in the team huddle, but at the same time, there is, right? So, in my game last night, was there some language that potentially could be penalized from the players with upset at themselves after a play where they made a mistake and under their breath or at a low volume? Maybe there was expressed something that would be considered to be profanity. Did my crew, under their breath, do the same? Yes, yes. Beverly, would a tip make a 10-second count start over? Are we talking about in a 10-second count, backcourt to front court, a team having 10 seconds to get the ball to gain front court status, a defensive deflection while in the backcourt would not affect a 10-second count? And it's or is this related to your previous question about the throw-in and having, right? Because in the same situation in a 10-second count, we'd want a metronome going with our count. For those of you who still use that archaic procedure and don't use your shot clock, a defensive touch in the backcourt would not affect that if the ball was thrown from the backcourt and a player with front court status on the defense deflected the ball. That would terminate the 10-second count, because at that point the ball would have gained front court status, which is what the 10-second count is all about. I'm sort of like making stuff up there. I'm not sure exactly what the question is. Jacob's in the house. Let the taunting begin. Kamali Rowan, good to see you. King B, it would be the pivot, once you have a pivot foot established and you begin a dribble, the dribble must begin before the pivot foot is lifted. In real time, there's some flexibility here. Oftentimes players, especially when they're moving in the opposite direction, will lift the pivot foot slightly prior to the release. If we look at plays in slow motion, it happens a lot. Not very perceptible by the officials, but that would be the restriction: the lifting of the pivot foot and the release of the ball. If you do drop the ball, release the dribble and lift the pivot foot at the same time, it will almost always be allowed, as the perception is so quick. Michael Hogue is not going to put up with, Case play 6.7.b. Do post if you can. I missed. God damn it. I missed something. All right, fine. Fine and dandy. Make me find this case play. .7.b. I'm getting there. All right, I'm going to do this. This is elite tech team stuff. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to screenshots. I'm going to drag this here. Hey! Hey! 6.7.b. After A1 starts the free-throwing motion, A2 commits a foul by pushing B1 along the lane. Ruling: if the foul occurred after the ball was in flight, the point counts if the throw was successful and no substitute throw is awarded. If not successful, if A1 had not released the free throw attempt before A2, the ball became dead when the team control foul occurred, and A1 is permitted an unhindered free throw. The foul by A2 results in the ball being awarded to Team B at the out-of-bounds spot nearest to where A2 fouled B1, unless the free throw attempt is successful. Oh, I hadn't thought that through. If the merited free throw was successful, the resulting throw-in would be a non-designated spot throw-in. I had not thought that through. So, Mike, you think that this would cancel the first free throw? The free throw had ended based on this case play? If A1 had not released the free throw attempt before A2 fouled B1, the ball became dead when the team control foul occurred, and A1 is permitted an unhindered free throw. So they would be allowed. Don't know why you would say that. Well, as support, but maybe I'm misunderstanding. I'm a little disconnected with the chat. I apologize. Yeah. Very typical. So I'm watching the game, and in the late third period, Jacob, because this is important, Warriors talk. They put this lineup on the floor with Kuminga. And it's just like, what is this lineup? I can't believe it. And it's like, I'm not even going to watch it. I was fast forwarding. I had to get to bed. Why? Because we had to get up and do basketball rules expert in the morning. But apparently it went as expected while that lineup was on the floor. 500 going into the break. It is what it is. Austin, on the throw-in play, it would not be a violation because the throw-in exception, allowing a player to jump from the front court, catch the ball in the air, and land in the backcourt, would apply. So it's the touch that ends the free throw, ending the restriction. Billy Mack referring to coach behavior here. What about officials, Billy? What about officials when they realize they missed a call that they should have made? Can they, under their breath, let forth a string of expletives and self-abuse, asking for a friend? Did I say that? Oh, I see. Here comes the case play, but all right. You know, yeah. Sometimes there's shot clock horns. But this is the exciting thing for me, right? Is what I'm thinking is if teams are installing shot clock apparatus now in 2023, 2024, 2025, it's going to be state of the art stuff and it's going to be fantastic. And they're going to install shot clocks and they're going to put them above baskets with the game clock on, which is the best case scenario. Provides more information, you know, like we have at collegiate and NBA level. And this is all fantastic. In California, we've had shot clocks for decades, and so some of the equipment is decades old, and some of the horns sound like a dying animal far off in the field. You know, there's a moan. What? Okay. All right. I got you, Mike. I got you. I apologize for getting a little disconnected. It happens. Gotcha. Yeah. So the adjudication was correct. The free throw has not ended. And yes, I'm glad I don't have to redo that question yet again. But I did not recognize that the subsequent free throw for the team control foul after a successful final free throw would be a non-designated spot throw-in. I did not think that through at all. And if we included that as part of the final adjudication, that could have been crafty. Okay. All right. Oh, I see. Why did I put that there? Interesting. Yeah. Hey, we've got a tremendous group of show supporters. Who is up on the show supporter big board this week? Mike Gillard, Kelly Hefner, Joseph Del Colo, Thomas Platabor Sr., and Peter Jacobson. Much appreciated and much love. And as always, a link will be down in the show notes below. And yes, indeed, I will put one up above. All right, let's look at our very next play scenario. Before the game, the officials notice that the visiting team has both a number 6 and a number 7 in the book. The officials allow this. Later, in the fourth period, number 6 enters the game as a substitute. The officials rule a direct technical foul on the head coach for an illegal uniform. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? All right, we've got a play scenario. Before the game, we recognize, hey, those numbers are illegal. And the officials allow those illegal numbers to be in the book. Shouldn't this be an administrative technical or something like that? But then later, finally, one of the players with an illegal number enters the game, and at that point, the officials assess a direct technical foul on the head coach for an illegal uniform. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes, they were. This is the correct adjudication in this scenario. These are illegal numbers by rule. The presence of the illegal numbers in the book just reflects that this is the roster for the team. No penalty is incurred until one of those players enters the game. And at that point, this is not an administrative technical foul, a player technical foul, a team technical foul. This is deemed to be an illegal uniform at this point. The penalty for an illegal uniform is a direct technical foul on the head coach. 2 free throws to the opponent, any player or eligible substitute, and a throw in at the division line opposite the table. So in this instance where the officials ruled a direct technical foul on the head coach, our crew got this play correct by rule. So here's the question. Let's say the opposing coach got a direct technical foul, and the team that had the illegal numbers at that point said, I want a number 6 to attempt the technical foul free throws. And they are beckoned into the game, and at that point we assess a technical foul on the other head coach, and we do things in the order of occurrence, and so we would allow A6 to attempt the technical foul free throws, and then the opponent would have the same. That's immediately what I thought of when I started to... Oh. Well, that's excellent, Mike. That's excellent. Yeah, I know. I understand the logic. It completely escaped me that we would have that. That Yeah, because what we have is a non-designated spot throw-in after a scored goal. No, after a team control foul. That was like the disconnect. Team control foul, non-designated spot throw-in. How is that possible? I'm not sure what that means, but no. Do I? I don't know. Do I know what that is? No. No, I do not. Eric says, not sure this is a direct technical. Well, then that's fantastic. Now we know this is a direct technical to allow a player with an illegal number to participate. And we could certainly say something. I've had this occur in my game, right? We have an illegal number in the book. We go to the coach. We knew in advance that this team had a player with an illegal number in the book. Coach, when the player enters the game, it will be a direct technical. You will lose your privilege to stand and coach the team, etc. We can have that discussion before the game. Absolutely. And maybe the coach, armed with that knowledge, still says, I want number 6 to play. Well, what are you going to fix? How are you going to fix it, Randy? Right? If they have a 6 and a 7, right, we would assume at that point they don't have the ability, right? All right, so the official after the 10-minute mark noticed there's a 6 and 7 and tells the coach, hey, coach, if they play, that's a direct on you. And then the coach says, oh, we got a couple extra jerseys, so we'll just change. Should have said something before the game. I say no. No preventative officiating. You have rules knowledge. You don't want to use it. Coach, this is an extremely unusual situation, and I want to use my rules knowledge, so I'm not going to tell you. I don't know how we can prevent here. Explain to me how we could prevent a technical foul from occurring. I mean, you could say, look, and I've had that. You could inform the coach, but the only reason they're going to have a 6 and 7 is because they don't have any alternatives. Adam C., of course, if they change the book, they would be in line for a technical foul, a different technical foul, one that would still allow the coach to stand. Huh. Yes, they are, Rick. Players with illegal uniforms are allowed to participate. Ironically, players who are illegally equipped, like with an illegal undershirt, are not allowed to participate. But I guess NFHS says in this situation, player has no option to correct. There's no opportunity to correct because it's the uniform itself. They don't have the opportunity to repair, but something that they've worn illegally, etc. Again, I'd ask how we can possibly clean this up. And even if we did, and the coach, didn't have additional uniforms, what are we going to do? Wait a minute. I would say yes, because illegal uniforms, I would say yes. I don't think this is covered by case play or by rule. Possibly it has been. Obviously if a team shows up, and not that this occurred in one of my games earlier this year, in a showcase environment, home team is wearing gold. Yeah, why I didn't. And they're allowed, and we have and you say, coach, you're the home team, you have to wear white. And you say, we don't have white. It's your gym, coach, you're supposed to wear white. We don't have white. Okay, this is going to be a direct technical foul on the head coach for illegal uniforms. Are the players on the team who have no opportunity to correct allowed to participate? Yes. Yes, they are. Are multiple players? Yes. Yes, they are. Still don't understand. Beverly asks, why are those numbers illegal in high school? In high school, NFHS rules, the numbers can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 through 15, 21 through 20, or 20, 10 through 15, 20 through 25, 30 through 35, etc. 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s in any combination are not allowed. R.I.P. Bill Russell. I did just officiate a game at McClymonds High School in Oakland, where Bill Russell went to high school, along Paul Silas went there as well. And they've changed the lighting since I was there last. It was an improvement. Yeah, let me know. That may be a streaming thing on my end. And it does, Greg says it's related to reporting with the numerals need to be something that we can report on a single hand. Nice. Wait, what did Carl Cheffers was the white hat on the Super Bowl, and he gave a number 3. He held it like this. 3rd down. That was interesting. I've seen you know in FIBA, that's the 3, and he did that as 3rd down. That was interesting. Wow. You guys are working hard to prevent in this situation. So let's do this. All right, 1 illegal number situation. Let's move to our next play scenario. After reporting a foul on white number 0, the scorer notifies the official that the home team also has 00 in the book. The officials rule this to be legal. Later in the game, 00 enters the game as a substitute. The officials rule a direct technical foul on the head coach for white. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Okay, the game has started. White 0 is in the game. We report a foul on white 0. The table says 0 or 00, right? A little confused. And the official says 00. Wait a minute. And it goes and checks. Yes, we have 0 and 00 in the book. But at this point, they allow the game to continue. Later, 00 enters the game. And at that point, the officials assess a technical foul, a direct technical foul on the head coach. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. In National Federation of High School Basketball rules, it's illegal to have both a 0 and a 00. It's not, the illegality is not that it is in the scorebook. Just as in our previous play where we had illegal numbers in the scorebook. The illegality is not that they are in the scorebook. The illegality comes when both players participate. So one player with a legal number, 0, can participate by rule, but the combination of having both now playing is where the play rises to the level of a technical foul. So either player could have participated first, but the participation of the second player causes this to then become an illegal number, and illegal number becomes an illegal uniform by rule, and the correct assessment would be, in this instance, a direct technical foul. This ruling comes from a rules interpretation from long ago, long ago. How officials, if this occurred in a game, most officials would have nothing to grasp for to create a correct ruling in this situation, but this would be the correct administration by rule. So, Zooch, what would you do if you detected both numbers prior to the start of the game? Except for the one-armed man, Dave. Except for the one-armed man. Okay, let's go. With the score tied and 2.3 seconds remaining, A1 is fouled and awarded 1-1. A1 misses the first free throw. B1 grabs the rebound and attempts a long try for goal. The try is unsuccessful, and the teams prepare for overtime. Before the overtime begins, the officials were notified that A1 should have received 2 free throws instead of a 1-and-1. The officials rule that the error is correctable. The second free throw is awarded, and its result will determine if overtime is played. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Can you imagine this occurring in your game? Right? Everybody in the gymnasium thinks we are going to overtime. The officials have a correctable error situation, and their ruling in this play is that the error is correctable and that we're going to attempt a free throw, and the result of that free throw will determine whether or not the game goes to overtime. In this instance, were the officials correct? Yes, they were. It gets simple. What is the correctable error time frame? Are we within that time frame? If we are, we will correct. The second merited free throw will be attempted with the lane cleared. The result of that free throw, if successful, the game will be over. If unsuccessful, overtime will be played. Can you imagine this situation? Now, as we approach the end of the season, we have to be prepared for situations that are going to occur at the end of the game and be able to adjudicate correctly. But this is not one we would anticipate occurring in our game very often. Correctable. This would be a high communication situation, right? And we'd really want to be thoughtful about how we went about doing this, because we're going to have a situation that, all right, we're going to correct this. We're going to have a free throw attempt, and if that free throw attempt is successful, this game is over, right? The energy in the building is all anticipating overtime. We get informed. We are going to get those coaches together, and we are going to explain exactly what we have and how things are going to go, right? And this would be a great, something we could theoretically, handle on our own. Coach, here's what we have. We have a correctable error situation. The player was awarded 1-and-1. They should have been awarded 2 free throws by rule. We are in the correctable error time frame, and we will correct this error. So we need that player to attempt 1 free throw at the appropriate basket, and the result of that free throw will determine whether we go to overtime, right? And the offending coach said, you can't do that, and what have you, right? We have 2 officials in the meeting, 2 coaches in the meeting. I appreciate that, coach, but by rule, this is how we're going to proceed. Make things very clear there. If we had public address available, I would say, because we have a crowd there, nobody would know what the heck's going on. Was there a technical foul? Why are we shooting a free throw, etc.? Want to have a correctable error situation. A merited free throw is due, etc. And then proceed, because once that free throw is successful, we're going to say this game is over, and our crew is going to leave the court. That's really the only way that we can put a bow on this situation. It's good to think these situations through. Is this ever going to happen in your game? No, it's not. Ooh. Joe says almost can correct the error, but we still need to play the overtime. Joel, if all activity from the previous period had been completed, such as after the final horn, ref, you suck, player technical, boom, that's how we're going to start. But in this instance, has all activity from the previous period been completed? No. Oy, oy, oy. Right, that might be a question that comes up from the opposing coach. All right. So you're going to correct, but you have to put the time back on the clock. Coach, no, by rule, there is no correction of the clock in this situation. Clock will read zero, the result of the free throw. We may need to provide that explanation when that counter comes, but we have to leave that meeting with everybody knowing exactly what's going to occur as the result of that merited free throw. And that's why we want to think these play scenarios through, Joel, in advance, and especially going to overtime. Right? Obviously, it's critical because we're going to make a decision that's going to affect potentially the outcome of this game, and we need to. I don't know. Do we want that free throw to go in, or do we want it to be unsuccessful? Yeah. So, and again, especially in a situation like this, who on the crew is going to get this right? Especially this time of year, critical. One of these teams is going to advance in the playoffs, and one of the teams is not. Right now, obviously, we're going to have veteran officials, but you may be the newer official on a crew, and your partner wants to go down the road of not correctable, shoot the free throws as part of overtime, or some misadjudication of the play. We have to obviously express, no, this is the correct adjudication of this play, and fight for that, and keep your crew from going down the wrong path in this situation. Coffee. It's the only reason we're here. If I had to do this show without coffee in the morning, oh my God, it would be a disaster. Billy, I could show you the place. Oh. Do I have the skills required in this situation to show Billy Mack the correct adjudication, the copy? All right. I'm doing it. This is the rules interpretation. I think it's from 2009, and it discusses in three scenarios. One is 14 minutes prior, 8 minutes prior, and after the game starts. Changes can be made without penalty. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller for my purposes. Why don't I read it from here? 14 minutes, changes can be made without penalty. In B, if a number is changed, it would be an administrative technical foul. And in C, there is no infraction if one of the team members participates. If the second team member wishes to participate, the result is an illegal number when discovered, and that when discovery is the participation of the second player. The penalty is a direct technical foul on the head coach for an illegal uniform, 2 free throws, and a division line throw-in. Loss of the second team member may participate without further penalty and is not required to change his or her number. Another possibility wants to change, and they would change. So I think our adjudication is correct. I'm going to fight for that. Okay, Michael Hogue, we think the scenario's through. What happens if the free throw is missed? Team B releases the try, and while the ball is in flight, whistle is blown, killing the shot. Does the whistle cause a try in flight to become dead? I assume that's what you mean, killing the shot. That would be the question. Billy, what is your... that case play refers to a duplicate number. I don't know. Yeah, I would say they are not identical numbers. And of course, the question that, especially like Beverly might have, is why are 0 and 00 illegal anyway? Is 1 and 11 illegal? 2 and 22 illegal, etc.? No. So why is 0 and 00 illegal by rule? I know my Golden State Warriors have both. Doesn't make any sense. If a last-second try bounces and goes in, does it count? It depends on the status of the clock. During live ball, any ball that passes through the goal shall count if it got there legally. They are numerals, but are they numbers? Good point, Eric. That doesn't make any sense. I thought it had to do with some electronic scoreboards or something. It doesn't make any sense at all. It is a numeral. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Early stat computers. Okay. Yeah, that was always my understanding, is that there was something couldn't handle both 0 and 00. I wouldn't imagine that's the case anymore. I guess those were treating them as numbers and not... If it would become a question of, Anthony, so we're talking about a last-second heave. The ball bounces, and prior to the ball entering the basket, the horn sounds. In that instance, the try has ended, so it's not a try in flight. The ball becomes dead on the horn, right? A player is about to release a try prior to the horn sounds prior to the release, the ball goes in. Foul occurs after the horn prior to the release. The ball becomes dead. Understanding when the ball becomes dead. In that last second heave situation, the ball became dead when the horn sounded. The try had ended. It was no longer a try in flight. Yes, I think this is a pre-Y2K rule. Why not? 00 is cool. Anytime I have a player who's 00, I say, Kuminga! Why? Because I can. They usually get the reference. All right. Onward we go. A1 gets the ball in the post, drives to the basket, and is fouled by B1. The ball goes in. A1 turns and taunts B1 and is assessed a technical foul. It is A1's 5th foul. The officials allow A1 to attempt his merited free throw, and then they follow with the disqualification procedure for A1 and allow the head coach to select a player or eligible substitute to shoot the 2 free throw for the technical foul. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? We have a situation where a player drives to the basket, scores, is assessed, a foul is assessed on their opponent. This player says, I got you, man, turns and taunts their opponent, and a technical foul is assessed to that player. They are due one merited free throw as a result of the foul. The officials allow that player to attempt their merited free throw and then use the disqualification procedure to disqualify that player. In this instance, were the officials correct? Yes or no? Hope we get this one right. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? When a player is assessed their fifth foul, they are disqualified. They need to be disqualified at that point. They are no longer allowed to participate. We go through the disqualification process immediately and directly, and don't allow that player to participate any further. Once we have the information, ref, that player has 5, right? In that situation, we need to, use the disqualification procedure. Who will attempt the merited free throw? What, we're going to ask the opposing coach which player they should choose? No. The disqualified player's substitute, by rule, will attempt their merited free throw with the lane cleared in this situation, and then the opponent would receive 2 free throws, or 2 merited free throws for the technical foul would be assessed. Did I get that right? That, Jacob, is an excellent question. That is an excellent question. Oh, and Jacob's question, of course, is what if a team has, go to the book, can you imagine? Oh, that'd be a tremendous April Fool's joke. Oh, man, you got to set that up, right? Have your partner, who you know your partner's the R, and you say, hey, you go to the score before the game and you say, hey, do me a favor. Put 0, 00, 7, 5, and another 5 in the book. Please do that. Oh, that would be, and then you got to get the cameras rolling and just really focus on the face of the official as they recognize what they have. That's an easy one. Easy. Definitely correctable, right? So if we have not disqualified a player and they participate in the game, the result of their participation shall stand by rule. Now let's say we make a case that a player attempted a free throw that was not merited to them, but it was merited to them, right? And any action they take is legal until the disqualification. Even if the officials say, hey, we're going to disqualify you after the attempt, we recognize that you should be disqualified, but we're going to do it after the attempt. I don't think there's a window there. But many might, Mike, attempt to fix. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. Let's move on. A1 is fouled, but erroneously is not awarded 2 free throws, even though the automatic bonus is in effect. Team A is given a throw-in, and A1 inbounds the ball to A2, and who is tied up by B1, resulting in a held ball situation. The error is discovered following the held ball call. The possession arrow is pointed to Team B's basket. The officials rule that the lane is cleared for A1's merited free throws and play resumes from the point of interruption, which is an alternating possession throw-in to Team B. Were the officials correct in this instance? Yes or no? This could be a puzzler. It occurs to us in our game. We should have awarded merited free throws. 2 free throws? That means we've had bonus free throws up to that point. Maybe none have been attempted. Unlikely. But for whatever reason, the officials award a throw-in. Basketball is played. A held ball situation has occurred. The arrow points to Team B. So our point of interruption in this instance is, when the error is recognized, is a alternating possession throw-in to Team B. The officials say that's going to be our point of interruption. We're going to go back and attempt those merited free throws with the lane cleared and then award the ball to Team B for their alternating possession throw-in in this instance. Were the officials correct, yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. This is the correct adjudication of this play, right? The point of interruption was alternating possession throw into Team B. There had been a change of possession in this situation. Team A had possession. Now Team B will have possession. The correctable error ruling in this situation should be, as our officials did, clear the lane, award the merited free throws, and resume with the alternating possession throw-in to Team B. Yes. Yes, it is. That, Greg, at the last minute, I'm thinking, wait a minute, does my adjudication of this play, is my understanding correct? And I think it is. Wait, is there a reference to a case play in the situation? Yes, our point of interruption is throw in to the opponent, right? And so at that point, this would be considered to be a change of possession. What if the arrow was the other way? Well, then we would have not had a change of possession. We would resume the game with the merited free throws and the lane cleared, and of course there would be no change in the arrow because we had not used the arrow. There had been no alternating possession throw-in. That's a good follow-up question, Billy. Good follow-up question. A1 drives to the basket, releases the ball for a try, and then contacts B1. The ball passes through the basket, whistles from both the lead and the center, the lead with an emphatic block signal, the center with an emphatic player control. Holy Toledo. The officials, recognizing that we have 2 calls on the play, score the goal, report both fouls, and resume with a non-designated spot throw-in by Team B. Were the officials correct in this large situation? Yes or no? Ay, ay, ay. Let's review. This is crazy. A1 drives to the basket, releases the ball for the try, and then contacts B1. The ball passes through the basket. We have a block called, and a charge called, a double whistle. We have a large scenario. The ball has passed through the basket. How do we resume in this instance? The officials say, score the goal? We had a player control foul, right? Report both fouls and resume with an end line throw in by the opponent. Were the officials correct in this instance? Yes or no? This does not sound plausible. This does not sound correct. This is the correct administration in this scenario. Holy Toledo. Holy Toledo. Ay, ay, ay. The ball went in the basket. We had a player control foul. You can't score a goal on a player control foul, can you? Right? What we have to recognize in this instance is we have a double foul. By rule, in high school, we're in this situation where we have one official on the same play, the same action between two players. One official rules a block. One official rules a charge. By rule in this situation, it is considered to be a double foul. Double foul. Okay. What do we have when we have a double foul? There will never be free throws attempted, and we will resume at the point of interruption. When a double foul occurs, does it cause the ball to become dead? When a double foul occurs, does it cause a situation where the try is in flight? Does it cause the ball to become dead? We had a situation where there was a try in flight. A double foul is ruled. Did the double foul cause the ball to become dead? We know when we have a player control foul that the ball becomes dead and cannot be scored, but this is no longer a player control foul by rule. It's a double foul. So since the ball did not become dead, the try shall be counted. And our resumption of play will be after a scored goal, a non-designated spot thrown to the opponent on the end line, right? So again, this is a review of a large scenario where the ball goes in. This is the correct administration by rule at the National Federation of High School Basketball level. Large city. Oh, Mike. Do I want Mike to send us the clip? Let me think that through. Does he want it? Yes or no? Mike, you can send it to me or just send me the NFHS timestamp and I will make that happen. Well, we've had when we have large situations, we see that non-calling official, and we see they're like it's whirring in their head. What do we have? Oh my gosh, I've got partners and they may not even know that the other made a call, etc. And I'm going to have to piece this together. The dreaded blarge. Eric says correct. Ah, yes, yes. There are many post-production meetings held, and sometimes they do get heated. Yeah, yeah. That would involve a lot of work. All right. Okay. Let's see. Now I have a numeral here. Okay. It's some people's favorite time of the show, the penultimate play scenario. Let's go. Trailing by 4 points, Team B quickly scores and with approximately 5 seconds remaining on the clock. Team A expects to withhold the ball out of bounds for the resulting throw-in. the timer mistakenly stops the clock shortly following the Team B goal. The game clock reads 4.0 seconds remaining. The official sounds the whistle after reaching a throw-in count of 3 to address the timing mistake. The officials rule that the game clock shall be corrected to display 1.0 seconds. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? All right, so let's identify the situation for what it is. Trailing by 4 points, out of timeouts, a team scores. The opponent, recognizing that there's only 5 seconds remaining when the ball passes through the goal, realizes, hey, we don't even need to make a throw in here. The timer erroneously stops the clock. The official maintains a count and then blows their whistle to correct the fact that the clock improperly stopped. At the time they blow their whistle, their count was 3. In this situation, the ruling on the court is, since the official blew their whistle, we're going to fix what we have. The clock stopped at 4. The official says, my count was 3, so I'm going to subtract the 3 seconds in this situation, put 1 second on the clock, have a resulting throw-in. In this instance, is the correct adjudication by our crew in this unlikely situation? Yes. Yes, it is. Right? This is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the clock stopped. It's unfortunate that the official put a whistle into the game, stopping play. But this would be the correct way for us to extract and resume play in this situation. What we would want to do in this situation is, even if the clock had erroneously stopped, we can use the definitive knowledge we have from our count to terminate the game, right? If we had a situation where the clock erroneously stopped and we continued our count, right, that could be the determination about the expiration of time. We can rule the game to be over at that point and disregard the erroneous stopping of the clock. I'd say that was on the table for our crew. But when we do put a whistle, then we can use our definitive knowledge in this situation to make a correction on the clock and then resume the game with 1 second remaining. That's messy. That's a messy question, a messy situation. Eric, I think in this situation, our correct adjudication, even if we recognize it stopped, is to just have that super emphatic count and terminate the game, right? Our count overrides the fact that the clock stopped improperly. I think we can do that. Thank you, Mike. Maybe I can add that discreetly in post. Let me do something here. .19.8.c. Yeah. I use penultimate whenever I can. I will tell you that, Billy. I will tell you that. All right. Well, we know that some people's favorite is penultimate, but we know many people's favorite is when we get to our last question. B1 fouls A1 just as the first quarter ends, and then A1 retaliates and intentionally contacts B1. A1's foul is a technical foul as it occurred during a dead ball. Team B is in the bonus. The officials, by mistake, administer the penalty for the technical foul before the free throws by A1. The officials rule that since all merited free throws were attempted, it does not constitute a correctable error situation, and the second quarter will begin with an alternating possession throw-in. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? This is a great play scenario because it brings to bear a couple of things. One is, this is activity that occurs at the end of a period, right? During a dead ball period after a period had ended, right? So how are we going to adjudicate this situation? And then our crew makes a mistake and administers the technical foul free throws before we've done things out of order. In National Federation, we're supposed to do things in the order of occurrence. So this presents a couple of things that could cause our crew to be unsure about how to adjudicate in this situation. But the way that this was adjudicated, that was weird. Did our crew adjudicate this play scenario correctly? Yes or no? Yes, they did, right? So there's a couple things about this play that we really want to bring into our game and understand how to do things correctly in our game. Okay, we have a foul that occurs before the horn, and then the horn sounds, and then we have a dead ball technical foul. Does the dead ball technical, is that part of the previous period? We know that if we have a scenario where the period has ended during that dead ball period, ref, you suck, or player A1, you suck, I hate you, etc., and we assess a technical foul, to which period does that technical foul belong? The previous period or the subsequent period, right? In the latter play that I just described, it would be, that's how we're going to begin the next period. But since we had a foul that was due to be awarded merited free throws, the activity of that period has not ended. The subsequent technical foul is then part of this period, okay? So that's the first part, recognizing that fact. So the correct adjudication would be attempt the merited free throws due to the bonus, and then attempt the merited free throws due to the technical foul. But in this situation, our crew got out of sequence and attempted the merited free throws related to the technical foul before attempting the bonus free throws. And at that point, they recognize, wait, we've made a mistake. But the key takeaway here is merited free throws were all attempted. They were done out of sequence, but they were attempted. So once that is the case, this is not a correctable error scenario. Even if we'd recognized we shoot the two technical foul free throws, it's like, wait a minute. We should have shot the bonus free throws first. We attempted the merited free throws. The result of those free throws shall stand, even though they've been done out of sequence. So that would be a key takeaway from this play scenario, and one that we'd want to, of course, get correct. And that's great that we've got the play correct. It's great that we are here on Basketball Rules Expert to get these kind of plays correct. And I really appreciate you joining us today for the Basketball Rules Expert. I see. Let me do that. Appreciate that you joined us today for the Basketball Rules Expert. If you do me a favor and hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed and hit the notify bell. so you don't miss out on any of our new content. Allow me to thank those who fuel our broadcast, our tremendous show supporters. Who is up on the big board? Mike Gillard, Kelly Hefner, Joseph Del Colo, Thomas Platabors Sr., and Peter Jacobson. Much appreciated and much love. Yes, as always, there's a link down in the show note. And as always, I will put one up above. We've got it for you. Yes, we do. Additional video content. Where can you find it? Where will it be? It's going to be right here. I've chosen this video. YouTube chose this video. You choose which video. And we'll see you in the very next one. Take care, everybody. Now, tell me. We're getting better. That went pretty well. Well, let's see. That was a great case play because it involves, there's two twists, right? One is does everything occur as a result of the previous period, right? It brings that into play, and the fact that we attempted merited. I like that one a lot. Whew. Did I misspeak? About who should... That'd be a great trivia question. When was the bumper sticker invented? I'm sure there was, horse-drawn carriages probably had them. Billy? As always, listen to Darwin. Thank you, Greg. How many likes do we have? Let's take a look. 30. I'll take it. And we are at the 2-hour mark. Wow. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for joining. Appreciate everybody joining today. I have another section playoff game tonight. Girls. It's really, I've only had like 3 girls' high school games all year. Of course, I do women on the JC side. Oh my goodness, a refreshing top off. Can you heat it up?
Oh my God.
The service here is incredible. So I'm obviously familiar with female players and stuff, but I just haven't done that many high school girls games, but I got one tonight. Greg says, one of my first playoff games, we had a correctable error and then a T as we were at the table. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I apologize, Mike. Thanks for pointing that out. I can fix that in post. I'll take a look at that. Oh, you caught that. All right, Zooch. All right. Last night, I worked with a partner who is a fantastic storyteller. And, for playoff games, we're supposed to arrive at the game site earlier than normal. And so we have lots of time for this partner to regale me with stories and what have you. And here's the scenario. He says, wait till you hear this, right? It was in a youth game, and right, he's administering the free throws, and the free throw comes to rest on the flange, right? And he says, and he recognizes. He made some remark to the kids, or like, "You're never going to see that again," or something like that, and administers the second free throws, and he says, "Get this." And I said, "No." I said, "No, there's no way a second free throw in that after the first one had come to rest on the flange, comes to rest on the flange. There's no way. I anticipated that." And he says, "No, get this. It lodges. The free throw lodges between the ring and the backboard." And I said, that is statistically impossible for those two events to occur. And yes, he said it happened. So Zuch's question is, if a free throw comes to rest on the flange or gets jammed between, is this a free throw violation or an alternating possession throw-in? Well, the throw-in would deem to have ended, or the free throw rather, would deemed to have ended because it had not gone in. That would be the correct adjudication in either of those scenarios. If it was the first of multiple free throws, a second free throw would be attempted. If it was the first of a 1-and-1, the free throw had ended, so we would go to the possession arrow for the resulting throw-in. And if they both occur at the same free throw shooter as my partner described it, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know that a visit by extraterrestrial beings may be in the offing. Kamali, we will see you on Friday. If you had a stanchion, all right, if you had a suspended backboard, you could, give it a little rattle. Is that a backhanded comment? Thanks for joining, Beverly. I hope some of these play scenarios help in your game and you dominate. Oy, oy, oy. I guess a case could be made, but what about my play situation, which doesn't rules interpretation from NFHS that did not describe them as such? Oh. Ooh, is that Gaelic? We watch here at the Beneficial World headquarters. We're known to watch British crime procedurals, and some of them do occur in Wales, and language becomes an issue. And I thought, Billy, you had brought out some very old English, but indeed it was mistyping. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Is it possible, Mike, that your plea that you were suffering withdrawals was part of our desire to do a show today? Mike Goodwin with the reference. Yeah, the war surplus technologies have had such an impact on life in the world. Just wartime stuff gets created after the war. What are we going to do with this stuff? How can we make it apply to something else? Lots of innovations and move forward. I do still think this is a taunt. Great job nonetheless. In spite of everything, I think it was okay. Dave, hang in there. Hang in there. Oh my gosh. Dave, send me a email at hello@abetterofficial.com. Memorable. I'd say today was pretty memorable. Austin. I do understand that. I do understand that. Yes, well, that's what I'm saying, Mike. That's what I'm saying. It's possible there was not one scheduled, and it's possible one was not going to happen until the tech team got together and they said, Greg, yes, I know you had a game last night. Yes, I know it takes coffee to get you going in the morning, but we have to produce a stream. It has to happen. So we fought for it. Video, yeah. So I'm sort of thinking, Mike, about like when the season ends, how to handle things. Doing two shows, maybe do one live stream, can sort of concatenate the two. So long that things that happened at the beginning of the live stream, we can't even remember. They were so long ago. Awesome. Awesome. All right. With that, we will look to move on with our day. I got to edit this show. Got to make it happen. Editing's become a little crisper. A little crisper. The flow of the show has been nailed down. It's been finalized. I mean, remember from previous live stream, there'd be so much fumbling about, early this season and last season definitely. But my tech team has really put me on the straight and narrow. There's a flow to the show that makes the editing process so much easier. So we appreciate everybody joining today. I do hope if you have games remaining on the schedule, you, first of all, congratulations. And yeah, do a good job. We prepare. Everything leads to all of our rules, knowledge, and understanding, preparing for the key moments of the key games so we can get things right. So let's make that happen. It's nice when things happen in our game and, oh, I know this. I know the correct adjudication here. Yes. Yes, you can. I tell you what, Billy, your villa in Tuscany can be next to my villa. And we can sip espresso in the piazza. Yes, I'll look forward to that. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Say goodbye to everybody. Make it a great day. We'll see you on Friday. I got some great plays, and it's going to be a good one on Friday. See you then. Take care.